Hello, everybody. Welcome to Peegs.com and welcome here to the United Center in Chicago. He's Trevor Andershock. I'm Jeff Rabjohns. Indiana plays its first high major conference game of the year and rolls. The Hoosiers beat Marquette 100 to 77. Outstanding games from Tucker DeVries and Lamar Wilkerson. Great contributions from Trent Sisley, Sam Alexis. Outstanding passing, outstanding ball movement, three-point shooting once again. A big factor for the Indiana Hoosiers. 14 for 29 from three, 12 for 19 overall from Wilkerson and Tucker DeVries combined. So really just an outstanding overall game by the Hoosiers. Monster win. Built a 21-point lead after 30 minutes of play against a team coached by Shaka Smart, whose teams are known for their defense, known for their ability to create problems. Indiana absolutely did a fantastic job getting to, they surpassed 50 points in the first half, got to 100 points for the game. Really strong showing in game two for the Hoosiers. Trevor, your thoughts, kind of what stood out the most to you today watching the game here in the United Center?
Obviously, like you said, overall, big picture, unbelievable win for Indiana. Second game of the Darren DeVries era, and they, win by 23 against a solid Marquette team. We'll see how it ends up, the overall season for them. But they should be in the NCAA tournament picture, if not, a solid team in it. So you pick up that early 23-point win against the Golden Eagles. I think that really helps your resume going forward, and then it helps just build confidence throughout your roster. Obviously, you said Tucker DeVries, unreal first half, 24 points in the first half, 27 for the game. Lamar Wilkerson stepping up in the second half with 15 of his 23 in the second half. Those two kind of playing off each other, hitting threes, like you said. I thought those were the couple things that really stood out. Big picture, and then just leaning on Tucker DeVries and Lamar Wilkerson once again to lead the way against a really good defensive team, and he put up 100 points because of those two guys.
Yeah, and you've mentioned this before. One of the things we noticed, even going back to the Puerto Rico games in August, Indiana's doing a really good job getting shots for the right guys, getting the right guys taking them. And you look at it, and Lamar Wilkerson goes 6 for 10, Tucker DeVries 6 for 9 from three, and Tucker DeVries 5 for 7 from three in the first half. Lamar Wilkerson 5 for 7 from three in the second half, and Indiana finished with 27 assists on 33 made baskets. That speaks very loudly about ball movement, passing, player movement, and really it speaks to how well they're running the offense in game two. This is a whole new team, and it looked pretty good.
And to really make that point, Marquette is a team that really wants to defend one-on-one. They don't want to overhelp off shooters and, rack up assist numbers. Usually opponents against Marquette have really low assist numbers. To get 27 against them is super impressive against anybody, but especially against Marquette, a team that really makes you beat them one-on-one, and you get 27 assists. I think that speaks volumes to how IU played today.
It's going to be interesting to watch as the season goes along. How many teams score 50 or more in a half against Marquette? How many teams get to 100? And how many teams get 27 or more assists?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's getting 27 assists against Marquette as their season goes along. So that's pretty impressive. I think the way they're getting shots for Tucker DeVries and Lamar Wilkerson is just outstanding to start the season. I didn't know if they could get – I thought they could get to this point maybe by January. They're here already, and, we're still in November. That, to me, seems pretty impressive.
Yeah, and again, it's against a team known for its defense, and Tucker DeVries, even when scoring 24 points in half, was still getting clean looks in that opening half. So it means IU's offense is working. Their spacing's great. They're moving the ball excellent, like we talked about. And then, he's coming off those screens, coming off flares, really moving the ball well. The ball's not sticking in anybody's hands. So second game of the year, there's not too much to complain about here, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Sure. And, I thought Trent Sisley had a really good game. 15 points. I think it was 30 minutes he was on the floor. Probably got some extra minutes just because of the foul trouble, and they kind of went a little bigger at one point when Connor Enright got a couple early ones. But Sisley showed he can play against P4 teams, which we saw him against at Montverde. We saw him end up winning team MVP at Montverde, and he's playing really, really well. I thought Trent was just outstanding off the bench today.
And this is how he's going to produce. He's rim running, getting out in transition, getting on the offensive glass, cutting hard to the hoop. And, Lamar Wilkerson found him a couple times for dunks. And then he added in, a drive here or there when an opponent really closes out hard on him. I think he's just going to kind of fall into that role of no offense is going to be run for Trent Sisley as a freshman.
No.
But he's going to find ways to score and contribute just through his motor, athleticism, toughness, and just overall awareness. So, like you said, really good game for him. And kind of playing into that, with him on the court, it also helped them handle the full court pressure of Marquette. A team known to really want to turn the opponent over in the backcourt. IU did a great job, only a couple turnovers in those situations, 8 total for the game. I thought that was a huge factor in it. Marquette really never finding that transition game, getting the easy buckets that they usually do. IU kept that away from them by taking care of the ball today.
Yeah, in Marquette, 11 points off turnovers. Yeah. They want twice that, 3 times that. They really want to be able to create offense off their defense. If you hold Marquette to 11 points off turnovers, you've done a really good job. 1, handling the ball. 2, not turning it over. Live ball turnovers in the backcourt that are easy layups. So I thought that was a really key thing for Indiana. I also thought Sam Alexis had a pretty good game. Comes in, does some things again. He's one of those guys you're not going to run a ton of offense for him specifically, but they posted him once. He had a nice move. Makes the other team go, okay, we got to at least be aware of that. Had some, some hard hat type plays, goes in, gets some rebounds, gets free a few times. I thought a pretty solid contribution off the bench from him.
And he got the early call because Reed Bailey picks up 2 quick fouls about, 85 seconds into the game. So Sam Alexis right in there. And like you said, he made it basically an instant contribution on the glass, handling the ball, everything defensively. I thought Indiana was going to try to kind of encourage Marquette to shoot more threes. That really didn't happen. Marquette got 33 shots at the rim, but only made just over 50%, 17. And I think Sam Alexis's defensive ability, his size, his strength at the rim played a factor in that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of those things that goes back to something we've talked about for several years. Shots at the rim, teams don't really necessarily convert at the rate you think when there's a shot blocker there, or at least a rim protector to create some defensive presence, make a shot difficult, make it clearly contested. Indiana on the defensive end, after the first 10 minutes, I thought pretty solid. Obviously, first 10, maybe 12 minutes or so, clearly foul trouble. But one of the things about that is, okay, they're having some foul trouble right now. I get it, but during the summer and during fall camp, Darren DeVries really wanted to install toughness and aggressiveness. So it's like, okay, let's start with toughness. Let's start with aggressiveness. I know in some practices, they don't really call a lot of fouls. They want guys to be tough and aggressive. You can take, okay, we're playing tough and aggressive, and then say, okay, now we got to be a little more precise on our footwork. We got to be less handsy. You can dial down aggressive. It's hard to dial up softness. So I'm really not concerned right now. The foul numbers are a little too big right now. Certainly putting a team in the bonus with what? I think
15 something left.
Yeah, so just not even 5 full minutes have gone by.
Yeah.
Too many fouls, sure. You got to work on it. But because of how they're installing it in the summer and in the fall and what they're going to work on now next, a little more disciplined footwork, a little less handy, I don't have a big concern right now.
And I don't think they're going to change that much. You eliminate a couple of those fouls where IU defenders are just putting 2 hands on the opponent. That's an instant call, no matter how light the contact is or isn't. When you put 2 hands on the opponent, it is a foul every single time, no matter what. So you clean up a couple of those here and there. I think you cut down on the fouls a tiny bit. But I think that is part of the strategy. They're going to really want to pressure the ball to keep teams away from the rim, or if they are getting to the rim, be as contested as possible. So they are going to foul a bunch this year. I don't think that's getting cut down by very much going forward.
Right.
I think that is part of the strategy. And, we've seen it throughout the Big Ten, decades. At some point, refs will just quit calling fouls because they're tired of it. And I think that is part of the strategy going forward as well.
Yeah, we all see in November, December, quote, points of emphasis for the officiating. Okay, we're going to emphasize this. It gets called in November, gets called in December, maybe a little bit in January. Then all of a sudden, you start getting later January, it goes back to physical play. So, yeah, like I said, a little more better technique with your feet, less handsy, and I think you take some of those fouls away. But, yeah, they're going to be physical. They're going to be aggressive. So I don't really see a big concern as far as overall how they're playing. And again, they won by 23. Yeah. They had foul problems. Again, the other team's in the bonus less than 5 minutes. It's almost impossible to have more foul problems early in a game. And they built a 21-point lead 10 minutes into the second half. They won by 23. So obviously they can play this way. And the other thing is, Obviously, Nick Dorn's not back yet. Still sounds very positive for him soon. But Indiana found enough guys to play and play well and score 100 points.
Yeah, Marquette shoots 33 free throws and it doesn't matter. It's pretty insane when you think about it. You take a step back and see that. But it will be interesting going forward. And then I did want to touch on, Marquette makes that run in the second half. It's an 18-point lead for IU at the break. They cut it to 10 with about 14 minutes to go. IU calls a timeout, and they kind of really regroup. It seemed like that was a point where it could go either way. Marquette's pressuring full court nonstop the whole game. That can start wearing on you, especially in that stretch. Darren DeVries calls a timeout, gets them regrouped. Tucker hits a three right out of the timeout. Then Lamar Wilkerson hits three pretty shortly after that and puts the game away. So I thought that point was really crucial to the overall game, and obviously IU passed that with flying colors.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and there's a really good question you asked Darren DeVries in the post-game presser as well. So people, if you haven't had a chance to watch that, check that out as well too, because Marquette's pressure sometimes is almost like the running game in football. It may take some time to really wear on you, but at some point it kind of takes over. Yeah. And that was that point. The lead's coming down. Marquette's getting some momentum. Marquette's got a scoring run going. And if they turn that into one of those 16-2, 18-4 Marquette runs, it's a tie ball game, or it's a possession or two, and it can go either way. Indiana's ability to handle that and respond, yeah, I thought that was the key point of the game.
Yeah.
Outside of some of the times when Indiana went on a run of making 2, 3, 4 threes within a 2 or 3 minute stretch, I thought that was the key moment in the game. Are you going to succumb to Marquette's pressure, or are you going to be able to handle it as we get deep into the game?
And leading up to that run, that was the first time IU had started to turn the ball over a little bit. So it just from the outside, it looked like things were kind of slipping away, at least from a ball handling standpoint for IU. And they corrected that on the spot, and obviously really took off from there.
They did. So Indiana, a winner here at the United Center, 100-77. The Hoosiers, once again, outstanding from three-point range, 14 for 28, 50% from three, and terrific from the line again, 20-24. So their shooting, if you want to go back to the Baylor game, is well over 85%, if you want to count that. It was an exhibition game, I get it. It's a Power 4 conference team, so it's kind of interesting to look at how they're shooting in those games. But Indiana, 2-0 right now after a 100-77 win over Marquette here at the United Center. We'll have a lot more on Peegs.com coming for you, including make sure you check out Trevor's instant analysis, some really good stuff, including a couple of shot charts you really want to take a look at. But for now, for Trevor Andershock, I'm Jeff Rabjohns for Peegs.com.